Money isn't complicated. People just keep finding creative new ways to get scammed by gravity. Fact 1. The free money illusion. Scam. Here's a fun truth about humans. Offer them free money, and they'll sprint toward it like the universe suddenly owes them a rebate. And that's exactly why this scam works. The illusion that value can appear out of thin air if you just click fast enough. You've seen it. The instant cashback, the bonus reward, the one-time credit. It's the financial equivalent of free cheese on a mousetrap. People don't question it because the word free temporarily disables the part of the brain responsible for long-term thinking. The rich don't fall for it because they know nothing is free. Ever. Even oxygen has opportunity cost at scale. I've watched dozens of people take on extra debt, buy things they don't need, and lock themselves into subscriptions because the platform dangled $5 of imaginary savings. And the punchline? Every click you think you're winning, someone else is mining your data, modeling your behavior, and selling the prediction of your next mistake. Wealthy people don't chase free money, they chase leverage, and that's why they stay rich. Fact 2. The VIP shortcut to wealth. Scam. Here's the scam that separates the wishful thinkers from the people who actually build things. The VIP shortcut. You've seen it. The course, the mastermind, the secret club that promises you'll skip the line if you just pay a little extra. People love skipping lines. They'll pay triple for the illusion of acceleration. But here's the truth the wealthy learn early. Anything that claims to eliminate effort is usually designed to eliminate your bank balance. These scams work because people crave certainty more than they crave progress. They want someone to hand them the algorithm for success, like it's a downloadable PDF. Meanwhile, the real algorithm is discomfort, repetition, and about 10,000 failed prototypes. That doesn't sell well on Instagram, so scammers package confidence as a product, slap a countdown timer on it, and call it mentorship. I've watched people spend more on exclusive access than they ever invest into the actual skill they're trying to shortcut. And the punchline? Every VIP room looks the same. Broke people waiting for a rich person who never shows up. The wealthy aren't buying access, they're building leverage, and that's why they don't fall for this nonsense. Fact 3. The emotion-based investing scam. If you want to see financial Darwinism in real time, just watch people invest based on feelings. This scam doesn't need a scammer. People run it on themselves. The market dips 2% and suddenly everyone thinks civilization is collapsing. The market rises 3% and they're ready to remortgage their house because it feels like the right moment. Wealthy people don't treat the market like an emotional support animal. They treat it like physics, indifferent, brutal, and predictable if you actually understand the math. Scammers love emotional investors because all they have to do is trigger fear or greed. One dramatic headline, one fake chart, one influencer yelling to the moon, and entire bank accounts evaporate overnight. I've watched people buy at the top, panic at the bottom, then blame the universe, their horoscope, or their Wi-Fi. Meanwhile, the rich quietly accumulate assets because they understand the rule nobody wants to hear. If your emotions are making your decisions, someone else is making your money. Fact 4. The lifestyle before income. Trap. This isn't just a scam, it's a global hobby. Most people don't want wealth, they want the appearance of wealth, and companies know it. That's why the economy is basically a vending machine that dispenses financial self-harm on credit. People upgrade cars they can't maintain, rent apartments they can't afford, and buy tech they don't even know how to use, all to convince strangers they're doing better than they are. The wealthy don't fall for this because they understand something painfully simple. Lifestyle comes last. Only after the systems are built, only after the cash flows, only after they've earned the freedom to make expensive mistakes without noticing them. I've watched people finance their identity like it's a subscription service, renewing it monthly with interest. And the punchline? The people they're trying to impress aren't even paying attention. Lifestyle inflation is the only scam where you willingly scam yourself. The rich don't play that game. They build assets, not aesthetics. Fact 5. The too busy to think. Scam. Here's a scam people never question. The idea that staying busy is the same as making progress. It's not. It's actually the most profitable illusion for scammers, marketers, and anyone selling productivity hacks. When you're exhausted, overwhelmed, and mentally foggy, you become incredibly easy to manipulate. The wealthy operate differently. They treat thinking as a priority, not a luxury. They schedule time to sit in silence, analyze systems, and make decisions with clarity. Everyone else tries to solve life by sprinting faster inside the same maze. Scammers love overwhelmed people because they won't read contracts, won't ask questions, won't check terms, won't verify anything. Tell them limited time offer, and they'll click before their brain has even loaded the thought. I've seen people buy cars, investments, crypto tokens, subscriptions, and even business partnerships without taking 10 quiet minutes to think it through. The rich don't get scammed by noise, they operate in signal, and that alone is a competitive advantage. Fact 6. The guaranteed return. Trap. If you ever see the words, "on a guaranteed return," run. That phrase is basically a flashing billboard that says, "Congratulations, you're the target demographic." Scammers love certainty because people crave it more than actual opportunity. They'll trust a stranger promising 20% monthly returns before they trust compound interest that's been working flawlessly since the Roman Empire. Wealthy people don't fall for this because they understand the single rule scammers hate. Risk is not optional, it's priced. If someone claims there's no risk, what they mean is you're the risk. I've watched people pour savings, emergency funds, inheritance money, even mortgage loans into risk-free schemes operated by guys who run their investment firm from a co-working desk next to a smoothie bar. Then they're shocked when the profit graph flatlines and the CEO disappears to a country with no extradition treaties. Real returns fluctuate. Real growth is inconsistent. Real investing is boring. If it sounds guaranteed, it's engineered, and usually engineered to drain your account first. Fact 7. The "I deserve it" purchase spiral. This scam is psychological, gratuitous, and brutally effective. People don't buy things because they need them. They buy things because they believe they've earned them. The "I deserve it" mindset is the most reliable revenue stream for every retailer on earth. Long day, you deserve takeout. Tough week, you deserve new shoes. Got a promotion? You deserve a vacation you can't afford. Feeling sad? Congratulations. That's now a marketing opportunity. The wealthy don't fall for this because they treat rewards like investments, not emotional anesthesia. They buy things that expand their capacity, tools, knowledge, infrastructure, while everyone else buys dopamine hits wrapped in cardboard boxes. I've watched people justify purchases that actively sabotage the goals they claim to care about. They call it treating themselves, but what they're actually treating is their anxiety, insecurity, boredom, loneliness, anything but their financial future. Here's the punchline. If your rewards are destroying your progress, they're not rewards. They're liabilities with better branding. Fact 8. The copy the rich. Scam. This one's brilliant because it feels logical. If I copy the habits of wealthy people, I'll become wealthy too. But here's the flaw. People copy the visible habits and ignore the invisible ones. So they buy the gadgets, wear the minimalist clothes, drink the artisanal coffee, adopt the morning routine, meditate for 9 minutes, post productivity quotes, and somehow still end up broke. The wealthy aren't rich because they wake up early or read books. They're rich because they built systems that scale without their presence. The habits you can see are just the metadata. Scammers know this, so they sell surface-level mimicry as transformation. Use this planner. Do this ritual. Buy this tool. It's wealth cosplay disguised as strategy. I've met people who imitate billionaires with such precision they even copy the pauses in their speech, but none of the underlying decision-making. Copying the rich is the fastest way to look productive while staying exactly where you are. Understanding how they think is the only thing that actually compounds. Fact 9. The everything is an emergency. Scam. Most people live in permanent crisis mode, which makes them perfect targets. When your brain is running on adrenaline, you'll agree to anything just to make the pressure stop. That's why scammers use urgency like a weapon. Limited time deals, countdown timers. Act now or lose everything. But here's the quiet truth the wealthy understand. Real opportunities don't need panic. Anything that demands instant commitment is engineered to make you skip thinking. And people fall for it because they confuse speed with importance. I've watched people sign predatory loans, accept terrible job offers, invest in nonsense, buy overpriced products, and agree to obligations they can't afford, all because someone told them, if you don't act right now, it's gone. Wealthy people operate on a different timeline. They pause, they ask questions, they verify, they let others sweat. If urgency is the sales pitch, the product is probably regret. And nobody regrets slower decisions, only rushed ones. Fact 10. The financial flexing trap. Here's a scam with no scammer required. People voluntarily drain their bank accounts just to signal that they're doing better than they actually are. It's financial peacocking, and it's profitable for everyone except the person doing it. New phone every year, designer clothes bought on installment, the car that's basically a metal apology letter to their accountant, dinner photos uploaded minutes before their rent reminder arrives. Wealthy people don't fall for flexing because they know something everyone else avoids admitting. Real status is invisible. Nobody with actual money feels the need to prove it to strangers online. I've watched people brand build their identity around purchases that depreciate faster than their self-esteem. And for what? Temporary approval from people who aren't paying their bills. Here's the punchline. The more someone tries to look wealthy, the further they usually are from actually becoming wealthy. Flexing is the tax you pay for trying to impress the wrong audience. Fact 11. These small leaks don't matter. Lie people think only big decisions affect their finances, but the truth is brutally simple. It's the tiny leaks that sink the ship. Everyone underestimates the cost of small habits. The daily coffee, the unused subscriptions, the impulse buys, the micro upgrades, the random convenience fees. Scammers don't even need to create new schemes. They just need you to ignore the accumulation. Nobody feels one drip, but give it a year and the bucket is empty. The wealthy track friction points the way engineers track energy loss. One small inefficiency compounds the same way one small improvement does. That's why they obsess over systems, not moments. I've watched people panic about a big bill they could have easily paid if not for the 67 tiny, harmless decisions that came before it. And the irony? They'll blame the big bill, not the habits. Money doesn't disappear suddenly. It evaporates quietly. Wealthy people fix leaks before filling the tank. Everyone else leaves the faucet running and wonders why the water keeps disappearing. Fact 12. The free trial forever. Trap. People love free trials the same way moths love porch lights. Blindly, enthusiastically, and with catastrophic outcomes. The free trial model works because it preys on the ultimate human flaw, the belief that I'll cancel later. Spoiler, they never cancel. Companies know this. That's why the cancel button is hidden like it's state-classified information, buried under 17 submenus, 4 pop-ups, and 1 guilt-inducing survey asking if you're sure you want to abandon your dreams. Meanwhile, the wealthy treat subscriptions like inventory. If it doesn't produce value, it's cut. No hesitation, no emotional attachment. It's math. I've watched people pay for apps they don't use, courses they never opened, software they forgot existed, and streaming platforms they haven't logged into since last year's breakup. Free trials aren't free. They're Trojan horses carrying future regret. And the rich avoid this trap because they understand a simple truth. If you don't intentionally control your spending, someone else intentionally will. Fact 13. The sell your future for comfort scam. This scam is subtle, maybe the most dangerous one. It tells people, take the easy option now, pay later. It's disguised as convenience, framed as self-care, and packaged as, why struggle when you don't have to? But here's the twist. The bill always arrives, and it always costs more than the shortcut. People take payday loans, rent-to-own furniture, same-day delivery fees, extended warranties, buy now, pay later plans, all just this once. Except it's never once. Wealthy people don't fall for this because they treat comfort like a luxury, not a baseline. They embrace short-term difficulty because it multiplies long-term freedom. I've watched people avoid a $30 inconvenience and end up paying $300 in interest. I've seen people take the easiest path every time until they woke up and realized their entire life had been negotiated away in installments. Comfort is not free. It has the highest interest rate on earth. And the people who understand that are the ones who outperform everyone else over time. Fact 14. The advice from broke people. Trap. Here's a scam. That requires zero technology, taking financial advice from people who have never succeeded financially. family, friends, coworkers, the loud guy at the barbecue. Everyone suddenly becomes a wealth strategist the moment you mention money. And most people listen because advice feels like support. But here's the harsh truth the wealthy learn early. Unqualified advice is a liability. I've seen people reject proven strategies because their cousin heard crypto is dead, or their friend at work thinks real estate is risky, or their broke uncle says all business owners are crooks. Meanwhile, the wealthy treat advice like data. If the source has no results, the information is noise. People love talking about money, but very few understand it. And the biggest trap is mistaking confidence for competence. If someone wouldn't trade places with you, lifestyle, mindset, trajectory, why let them architect your financial future? Most people aren't sabotaged by scammers. They're sabotaged by well-meaning amateurs. Fact 15. The success overnight delusion. This is the most universal scam of all. The belief that wealth arrives like a lightning strike. People want the viral moment, the lucky break, the perfect investment, the instant reward, and scammers know it. That's why every scam is built around acceleration. Make millions fast, get rich quick, skip the grind. But wealthy people think in decades, not weekends. They understand compound effort the same way they understand compound interest. Quietly, consistently, relentlessly. I've watched people quit too early, pivot too often, or jump ship the moment things get difficult, then wonder why nothing scales. The delusion isn't that success is impossible, it's believing it arrives without momentum. Every overnight success had a decade of invisible work behind it. The product launch, the breakthrough idea, the investment win. None of it is sudden. People fall for this scam because patience is uncomfortable. The wealthy avoid it because patience is their competitive advantage. Fact 16. The outsource your thinking. Scam. Most people outsource their thinking the way companies outsource customer support, cheaply and without checking the quality. They want someone else to decide what's best for them, what to buy, what to invest in, what to believe, what to fear. And if someone sounds confident enough, people follow them like their GPS instructions, even when the map leads off a cliff. Wealthy people don't operate like that. They collect information, but they make their own decisions. They treat opinions as raw material, not final answers. I've watched people blindly trust influencers with no track record, sales reps with quotas, friends with bad habits, and strangers online who hide behind usernames like CryptoKing420. Then they're shocked when the advice doesn't work. Here's the truth. If you let other people think for you, they will, and they'll think in their best interest, not yours. The rich avoid this scam because they know something simple. Thinking hurts, but not thinking costs. Fact 17. The overconfidence tax. People dramatically overestimate their financial intelligence. It's almost a global sport. They think they can negotiate without understanding leverage, invest without understanding risk, borrow without understanding interest, and wing it through decisions that literally shape their entire future. Overconfidence is profitable for everyone except the person who has it. I've seen people turn down expert help because they can handle it, then spend 10 times more fixing the disaster they created. I've seen new investors brag about one lucky win and then vaporize their savings chasing the same high. I've seen people take on massive debt because they believe their future self will magically figure it out. Wealthy people avoid the overconfidence tax because they assume they don't know enough. They ask questions, they research, they read contracts line by line. Confidence is earned through competence, not vibes. The world punishes arrogance. Money punishes it faster. Fact 18. The "if I just had more money" lie. Here's the grand finale. The belief that more money automatically solves money problems. It doesn't. It magnifies them. Money is an amplifier, not a savior. People think income fixes spending habits, but all extra income does is make those habits louder, faster, and more expensive. Bad behavior doesn't disappear when the zeros increase. It scales. I've watched people earn more every year and stay broke every year because the core issue wasn't income. It was discipline, structure, and self-awareness. The wealthy avoid this trap because they learned early that money only obeys systems. Without a system, money behaves like electricity with no insulation, unpredictable and occasionally catastrophic. If money fixed problems, every high earner would be successful. They're not. If money created wisdom, every lottery winner would stay rich. They don't. Money doesn't change you, it exposes you. And that's why this lie ruins more lives than any scam on earth. So, which of these financial disasters is quietly ruining your life? Go ahead, confess your favorite mistake in the comments. I'll pretend to be surprised.